Have you ever noticed that strange little pressure in your chest when someone says, "Hey, I'm coming over"? You smile and answer, "Yeah, sure, come by." But somewhere in the back of your mind, a quiet thought pops up. Well, there goes my peace. If you've ever felt that, trust me, you're definitely not the only one. Today we're talking about the psychology behind why some people don't like having guests at home, even when they genuinely like the people visiting. For some people, hosting is great. They enjoy the laughter, the noise, the long conversations, the energy in the room. But for others, home means something completely different. Home is sacred. It's the one place where the mask finally comes off, where breathing slows down, where the outside world stops asking things from you. And the moment someone walks into that space, even a good friend, something changes. The atmosphere shifts, the silence disappears, a small tension quietly appears, not because you dislike the guest, but because your personal sanctuary has been interrupted. So why does it sometimes feel like such a tiny invasion? Psychologically, people who love solitude often experience something called territorial comfort. For them, their home isn't just four walls, it's their emotional reset button. Every sound, every object, every daily habit inside that space is something they control. And when a guest arrives, the mind reacts almost like a still pond when someone throws in a pebble. Nothing terrible happens, but the ripples change the whole surface. Another reason is that many people use their home to recharge after social interaction. Outside, they're polite, they're attentive, they're on. But at home, they finally get to stop performing. So when someone comes over, even someone they truly care about, that invisible mask goes back on again. And that effort quietly drains their energy, like a phone battery slowly losing percentage in the background. Here's something people rarely admit out loud. Some of the kindest, warmest, most caring people feel a huge sense of relief the moment a guest walks out the door. Not because they're rude, not because they hate people, but because silence feels like oxygen. Psychologists say people like this often have very strong emotional boundaries. They don't reject others. They simply protect the spaces that help them stay balanced. For them, home isn't a stage. It's not a place for performance. It's where they get to be themselves when no one is watching. That's also why many of them prefer meeting friends in neutral places, cafes, parks, or restaurants, anywhere their inner world can stay private. And sometimes this sensitivity goes all the way back to childhood. If growing up meant that guests brought stress, pressure, or chaos into the house, those feelings can stick around for years. So even in adulthood, visitors can quietly trigger that old tension. But here's the important thing. There is nothing wrong with wanting to protect your space. You can love people deeply and still crave solitude. You can care about others and still guard your peace. Because for some people, the purest form of comfort is simple: a quiet room, a familiar chair, a warm cup of tea, and the soft sound of their own thoughts. So tell me, do you feel like this too? Share your experience in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe. We break down everyday habits in simple ways, and I think you'll like what's coming next.